Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Sheen. I'm an Oxford and Cambridge graduate, currently working as a strategy consultant in Dubai. And on this channel, we explore strategies on how to help women advance in their careers, and the tips can be useful for men as well. So let's get into today's video. Today, we're going to be talking about how to be more assertive. I'm sure you've been in situations, especially in the workplace, where you've seen someone handle kind of a tricky situations with a lot of grace and confidence and thought, I wish I could do that too. And trust me, I've been there as well. Being assertive is a core communication skill, which we should all have, especially in the workplace, but even in the personal space. But we won't get into that. Today, we're going to be talking about how to be a bit more assertive in the workplace. Assertiveness can help you express yourself with more confidence, set boundaries, especially in a professional setting, stand up for your point of view while also respecting what others have to say and what their beliefs are. Being assertive can also help your own self-esteem and help you gain the respect of others. It's a common misconception that being assertive also means being hostile, difficult to work with, rude, aggressive, but that doesn't mean being assertive, even though they can coexist. So for example, people can be aggressive while being assertive. It is not the only way to be assertive. I think the best way to be assertive is to do it in a very respectful and mindful manner. And even though not everyone can be assertive naturally, it is definitely a skill that we can learn and improve on. So how about we get into a few tips on how to do this in the workplace? So the first thing is to trust in yourself. In order to have the confidence to speak up, you need to believe that what you have to say is right and deserves to be heard. So I think the one main thing here is to understand your skill set. Why were you hired? What are you bringing to the table? And what are you adding to your team? And being able to visualize that, even if you want to write it down so that you actually see that you are bringing something. There's a reason why they hired you. There's a reason why you're in that team. So then once you're there, you are there for a reason. And therefore, you need to reevaluate and change that mindset of thinking that I don't have anything to contribute. I don't know if this will make sense. But just believe in what you have to say and believe that. And I'm not saying that you're going to be 100% right all the time. We all make mistakes. We can all be wrong. But that's the whole point of having a conversation and discussing things at work. So then when you want to say something and you think that, shall I say it? You should not, because you're allowed to speak. You need to be more comfortable in taking up space and communicating, whether it's a new idea, whether it's a new suggestion, whether it's feedback, or whether it is saying no to something and trying to express your boundary at work. You should be able to speak up because you deserve to be there and you deserve to take up space. The second thing is to just assess how reasonable your ask is. So if, for example, someone is asking you to do something last minute, and they're asking as a favor, and it is going to be difficult for you, but you can still do it. You can still do it, but, because this was not something reasonable to ask of you, you can express that in the future, I would like to have been given a bit more notice than this. So you are still doing what is being asked of you, but you're being assertive in setting your boundaries. And this is a very reasonable boundary to set. So the other person has no other options other than to say, yes, that is correct. I should have done that. Next time I will do it. So it's about if you know that what you're asking for is reasonable, then you can ask it. And that will show you as an assertive person that is setting boundaries, that is open to communication. The third thing, which is quite important, is expressing yourself in a positive way. And I think this is where we want to make sure that we do not come across as aggressive, because the lines can be blurred, and the main thing here is the tone. So the tone with which you speak will make the other person react differently to what you're saying. So with saying the same thing in a very calm manner and saying something in an emotional, angry way will be perceived differently by the receiving party. So that's why being very positive and calm is useful. And I also find that using sentences where I am the kind of center of the conversation rather than the other person makes a huge difference. For example, instead of saying you should do this task, is very pointy, and it's kind of like creating this defensive reaction from the other person because they feel like they are being put on the spot or they're being told that what they have done is not enough. But if instead of that, I say that, okay, I have been thinking, and based on my understanding of the situation, I think that this task should be done. So then it's really not putting it's not putting the focus on the other person, but it is still sharing the same point. And it's always good, even like in couples therapy and stuff, they always say, do not say, you did this or you make this happen. It's always saying, this is how I feel. This is what I have been thinking. So it's taking away this like pointy, blamey part of the conversation. And therefore the other person is less likely to react in an emotional way to defend themselves and are more likely to be open to the conversation. And therefore the conversation is more welcoming, it's more inclusive, and therefore you can get somewhere at the end of that conversation. Number 4 is to offer options to show that you're flexible. What do I mean by this? So for example, when you're being asked to do something that is potentially not possible for you or is interfering with your boundaries or your current workflow, and you want to say no, but you can always not say no, but offer options. So you can say, well, I cannot do this within the time frame you're asking, but I could either do half of it within this time frame and the other half in another time, or we can, find someone else to split the work, or we can just wait until the next day if it's not too urgent. So you're offering options. You're not saying no, but you're also not compromising on your stand here. You're still keeping firm and being assertive about what is right for you, but you're not being difficult because you're offering options and you're offering ways on how to get the things done. So that's always helpful, even sometimes when people are in the selling business and making deals, and let's say for the same thing, someone is asking for 4 hours of help instead of 2 hours for the same price. Obviously, that's not something that you're comfortable with. If you want to stick to your current price range, then you can always say, okay, we'll do 4 hours, but that would mean these few optionalities of the package will not be there. Or, so therefore you are not budging from the price that you want, but you're going to offer less for it because they're asking for more hours. So it's about being flexible so that you are being assertive in the way that you're not saying no, so you're not coming across as blunt, but you're also not just saying yes for the sake of saying yes, even though this is not something that you're comfortable with or something that you can do. The other thing, which is probably also quite obvious, is to just use empathy and compassion. I think we forget when we're in the heat of a discussion that we are all here on the same side, especially in a team, right? We are all here to get the same job done. We are on the same side of the battle. We're here to work collaboratively together. And everyone is fighting because they think that they know the best way forward in terms of how to get the job done. So just taking a step back and remembering that, okay, we're all here with the same aim. There's no need to fight against each other. So just remembering that, and therefore knowing that also it's very normal human reaction that whenever someone is giving you feedback or someone is questioning something that you've done, to feel attacked and therefore to react in a somewhat emotional manner. So therefore showing empathy helps you to be more assertive because you're not attacking. You are here and you understand this person's point of view. You need to listen. You need to understand where they're coming from and remembering that we're all working together here. Therefore, for me to be assertive in this situation is to also show you that I am here working with you and we're all working together towards this, but this is where I think things should be. Now tell me your point of view and we will discuss it together and agree to change my opinion if I am wrong by the end of this and you agree to change your opinion. So that's what I mean by being aggressive is not necessarily what needs to happen for you to be assertive. Being able to keep calm and understand where the other person is coming from, and for you to even be able to change your mind or your opinion about something just shows that you are confident in what you understand, what you're bringing to the table, and confident in your team, right? That's the whole point of the team, because every different people bring different things to the table. So that shows very good level of assertiveness. And I guess the final thing is a bit more, it's not something I entirely like to think about, but I guess in this situation we can make an exception. So if you think about the what if, right? So what if you're not assertive in a specific situation? What if you had a better idea and you decided not to share it? Or you were too shy to share it? Or if you had feedback for someone and you decided not to share it? what is the consequence of that? So first of all, there's a consequence for the company. So there's a subpar piece of work that's being done, and you could have improved it massively just by sharing your opinion on this. And this could come back to bite them because, you know, the client might not be happy with it, and they might just suggest the thing that you knew could have been better and you didn't share it with your team. So that's your responsibility towards the team, to bring your best and to share the best ideas. But if being shy is not helping you, then that's a problem. But also, by just not being assertive in certain situations means that you can get dumped on. So then people will think of you as a yes man or yes woman and just keep giving you things because you can't say no. And they might not be doing it in an evil way or on purpose, but it's just because every time they'll ask, you'll say yes, so then they'll give it to you because they think, well, they're okay with it, why should I not give it to them? So then that's where then you can become very unhappy. You can feel that you're overworked, you're overburdened, but you're not communicating that. So then they don't know. So that's why I think these are very negative situations that can happen if you're not being assertive. So this is the what if situation that is helpful in this situation. Great. But that's what I mean by you need to be more assertive for these reasons, because you don't want to come across as a weak member of the team that does not contribute a lot and will just do whatever it is they're being told to do. That's not a good look, and that's not what we want to do. So therefore, let's put these into practice. I have personally put these into practice, and I've seen the difference. And you definitely get better by practicing being assertive in the workplace, especially if everybody puts into practice empathy, compassion, calmness, and being open to hearing other people's opinion and being flexible. We can all have a wonderful place of work where we can share and learn from each other and make the best happen. So I hope this was helpful, and if you liked it, please like and share the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more about how to get better at your career. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.